I'm very excited again to be here in this channel of YouTube to explain you the classes that we have in the morning. So this morning, by the way, today is April 21st, actually Tuesday. This morning we were learning about contractions and negatives. What is a contraction? The contraction is formed when you join two words by using an apostrophe. So it's very, very important that you need to remember that we need to add the apostrophe in the correct position. For example, if you are joining we have, you need to put the apostrophe in the middle of the joining words. For example, weaved. If you see, we is the subject and the adding verb is have. So that's the reason that only we are going to add VE. Okay? Also, the contractions are useful in the way to do a negation, to say a negative statement. For example, if you are joining are not, you are going to put the apostrophe after the N. For example, aren't. Aren't apostrophe T. And that means that is the negative way to use the verb to be. Also, you can use another words that are auxiliaries to use in a negative way. For example, should plus not, you are going to get shouldn't. And the apostrophe is again before the T. So we are going to use affirmative statements by combining the negative words. Remember that the negatives are not, no, no one, nothing. Yes? And we can combine these negatives with affirmative indefinite pronouns, maybe, or with the contractions in an affirmative way. The thing is that you can use contractions in a negative way with indefinite pronouns that are positive. We have different positive indefinite pronouns. For example, anyone, somebody, anything, yeah? And you have also negative indefinite pronouns, like for example, no one, nobody, yeah? And then you cannot combine a contraction in a negative way with a negative word. For example, you cannot say, I don't never be with you. You cannot join don't with never. It's better if you use ever. For example, I don't ever be with you. So if you see, that's the correct way to use an affirmative and a negative. It could be contraction or it could be negative word. Or in the other way, you can say, I am, that is affirmative. I am, maybe you can say not, I am not with you. But of course, we can use it in a contraction. I am not, because you have the word, the negative word, not. Or it could be another example. You can say, I can't, with negative can't, I can't see anything. You cannot say, I can't see nothing. That's incorrect because you are using a negative contraction and you need to use next to the contraction an affirmative word. That's the reason that the correct way to say is I can't see anything, because anything is positive. Well, if you see, they are appearing many examples in the way that you can use an affirmative word with a contraction in negative or in the other way. And you can see the way that you can use a contraction in a negative way, aren't, isn't, wouldn't, with an affirmative indefinite, anything, anybody, anyone. Or in the other way, if you have a contraction in an affirmative way, for example, there, it's, what's, you need to use next to that contraction in an affirmative way, you need to use a negative indefinite. For example, nothing, no one, not, nobody. So, please remember, you cannot use a contraction affirmative with an affirmative indefinite. Or in the other way, you cannot use a contraction in negative with a negative word, okay? Don't forget it. So, as you see, this is the ending of this explanation that was language arts topic. But I hope that you are going to understanding very, very well the topic that I'm teaching to you. So, if you have doubts, don't forget to tell me in the comments, or to send me a mail, or to tell me in a chat message. But please be sure that you cannot combine a negative contraction with a negative indefinite, or vice versa. You cannot use a contraction affirmative with an affirmative or a positive indefinite. So until now, it's all for today. See you next time, and blessings.